All right, now that we know a little bit more, or at least have touched on once again some of our software update services, infrastructure, and implementation steps, we want to also keep in mind some considerations when implementing SUS. And one of them is to use parent-child hierarchies to ensure that the same patches are available from all of the SUS servers in your hierarchy. In a parent-child hierarchy, the parent is the one that grabs the software update from Microsoft and then replicates that software update, that patch, to other child servers in the hierarchy. So in other words, our parent servers in the hierarchy are the only ones who are going to be speaking with Microsoft in this example here. Also, you should place an SUS server in every major business location because they are called upon quite often from the clients to update software patches. Because of their role in the network, it becomes important to have one in every business location where you have a lot of clients who are going to be updating their software. You should also place your parent servers for easy access to the internet. That's not typically a problem in major networks, but of course, because your parent servers are going to be interfacing or downloading software updates from Microsoft's web servers, the parent server is going to be nearby or with easy access to a lot of bandwidth where possible so that it can interface with that computer as quickly as possible. Other considerations include install the first SUS server in a test environment. As with a lot of things, it's always recommended that you try a test environment before you implement in a working network to see what considerations come up, see if you can plan for improving performance of software update services in a test in a controlled environment that won't affect your production. Also, run SUS as the only application where possible. Again, you can't do this on every server and every implementation, but if it's possible, if you have the resources to do it, you should dedicate a server for SUS. Third point on this page, the third bullet point, includes providing antivirus protection. However, you want to ensure that the installation process turns off the antivirus protection, but once it's installed, you should provide antivirus protection because that computer is going to be exposed to the internet probably a little more often than your other computers, the SUS server. And then finally, one other consideration is you need to consider how many SUS servers you might need. Now, I mentioned earlier that one of the recommendations is to place one at every major business location. However, one SUS server can serve up to 15,000 clients. Now, that may not be best for your environment, but depending on the resources you have, depending on the bandwidth that you have, you may only need one if you have a network of fewer than 15,000 clients and maybe they're all at a single location. So, as with everything else, there's no right or wrong answers, but certainly because providing the latest patches and security fixes is such an important part of your design of a security plan or security design, making sure that working SUS is up and running and that it's designed in the most secure way possible becomes an important part of that plan.